Okay, so agreement verbs mean it's not what we would normally think of in English, where like matching tense. In this sense, it is where once we establish something in signing space, that we are consistent with that and that it makes sense. So it'll make a little bit more sense once we actually get into the actual meat of it. So for the introduction, just to understand that, what'll be important is movement of the sign and also palm orientation, which way the palm is facing. Because remember, possession is my, your, theirs, all of yours, our. Wherever the palm is facing is where we're talking. So if it's yours, it's important you do it that way and not yours. Or it's yours, it's yours. No, it's yours, mine, his, hers, their, whatever. Okay. So palm orientation will be a key factor. Bunch of vocab, 20. And we'll get into all of those. If there's anything I need to go into right now. I'll put, I'm leaving this one up here because these pictures are the old pictures from the book and they're crappy and they're low quality in here. I'm going to put in the videos of what the signs are, but I wanted to get this lecture posted pretty quickly. So the first one is tell. Tell. So it's the index finger, it comes from the mouth, and you tell. I tell you, so me tell you, you tell me. It always starts with your own mouth. If, even before times, before COVID, we would never touch someone else's mouth to say, you tell me. Not done. So it's always going to come from my mouth. So it's sort of half agreeing. Only the second half of the sign goes towards the person you're telling the information to. So tell you, tell me, tell them, tell them, tell them. It always comes backwards. It never goes tell, tell, tell. They tell them. You tell him. Okay. So that's tell. Call. Phone call, same thing, call. Now this one you can just go from call me, call him. If it's coming toward call. Oftentimes, if it's from third person, it will be you call, same as tell. It'll go back to the ear because it's a little clearer. If it's call me, you call me. You wouldn't do call me. You call me. Okay. So make it clear, right? Video shows a good example of it. Send. It looks like throw, basically is the same thing. But I'll send it to you. You send it to me. I'll send it to them. They'll send it to them. Toss it to, but it also means send. Sometimes you'll see this as send, specifically for like mail or email. Electronic messaging. Inform. We've used these for like teach, right? Information, learn. So now I'm going to give you the information. Inform, let me know, inform me, inform them. Most of the time it's going to start from the head. Inform, let them know. Right? So most of the time it's going to come from your own head. Same as with tell. Pay. So you take the coin and you push it reluctantly to the other person. I'll pay you. You'll pay me. Pay. If you remember, this is the sign for debt or owe. So now you're, you owe me. I pay you. You pay me. I pay. You pay me. Right? We know what those accents were. There were just a variety of them. Okay. So I didn't put those videos in because I'm cutting just to the base example of tell, inform, call. These videos show all the different ones, from me to you, you to me, someone to another, right? So it shows all the different variations of those. So I wanted to separate those out for this video lecture. And I have to apologize. I don't know why some videos are wide and some have the black bars on the top and the bottom. I don't know why some are cropping it and some are not. Google Drive doesn't seem to have any rhyme or reason with why it does that. So again, these are all, oh, that's weird. Okay. Huh. Why are you doing that? That's very strange. Okay. So each of the 5, well, blast, now you're doing the same thing to me. I'm not happy. Tab, space, and pull this over. Sorry. You're watching how the sausage gets made. Which, unless you've read The Jungle, is probably not going to make any sense, but never mind. Tab, spacebar. Okay. So those are the 5 agreement verbs. So again, take a look at all the letters. Don't worry about the letters. But there are 4 basic places or locations in signing space that we've explored. These are the 4 default. There's me, home base, a person on the right, a person in the front, and a person to the left. Notice they do Renee and Lee, so you can easily go right and left. I'm embarrassed to tell you that it took a couple years before I realized the textbook was doing that. I went, oh, that's why Renee and Lee. Duh. Idiot. Right and left generally are references to people who are either there or absent people. If you're talking about someone who's not here, oh, that's my brother. Oh, so I told my brother that he had to go to work, that I wasn't going to support him anymore. So if you're talking with this person over here, you would set up to the right or left an absent person. We've done that before when talking about someone who wasn't in the room. So those are the generic sort of filling the gaps. But you could go in any of these different directions, right? So it can be this person to this person, you to this person, Lee to Renee, Renee to you to me. So the easiest way to do it is pick one of the verbs. Go A, B, C, D, E, F, and practice each of those. It's gonna be boring as heck. But even if you have to write it out, if your brain needs the Lee gives it to you give it to Renee, right? Write those down. I could provide you a sheet with that on it. That step is important, that you make those connections through writing, through speaking, through signing. Make them all connect, because then you'll have it in your body. And I don't know if you're the same as I am, but like when I'm memorizing something, as I'm reciting it, I see it on the page as well. So to whatever level that is for you, that will help, those extra steps, even though they feel like they're wasting time. So here's some sample sentences. Simple. We're doing one direction. Well, there are actually 2 directional ones. Lee told me you not yet paid him. Okay, so you pay him not yet. So we've graduated from very simple one thing. I call you. You call me. Lee told me you suck. And Renee told me you're dumb. Right? Okay. So those are the simple ones. Now we're doing a little bit more compound, where we're adding 2 of them together. And in this way, it's told and paid, told and paid, told and paid. So again, go through and practice A, B, C, D, E, F. Change them. Just make sure you can be flexible and do whatever sentence you want. Then we're adding some more details. All right, don't let your brain explode, but just walk it through slow, piece by piece. Repeat it until you can do it without thinking. So I told Renee, and then what'd you tell? I told Renee class is canceled. So class, and then draw next through. And then there's that little transition of, notice how I'm I'm becoming that conversation, right? That's the clearest way of doing it. You become that conversation. That way, also, Renee could respond. Really? Bull, right? Then, so I, uh, with the news, informed her, right? So I told Renee, class is canceled, in sort of in quotes, right? Class canceled. Then she called Lee with the news. Let her know. Let him know. Um, why did they pick Renee in that? Is there one they could have used that would have been gender non-specific? This is before we started being more sensitive about that. So luckily they had Lee, right? All right, so go through. There's 9 different sentences. Just make sure you know what the action is and what the order of information is. They're really easy. We would practice this in class, and you'd be so bored out of your mind after the third one. So just do it on your own. Now, the next thing is this is the homework from the book, and there's 2 sentences, an A and a B. I've got 2 different slides to show you for this. I kind of want to see which one works the best, which you feel more comfortable with. I have a feeling it's going to be the second slide, and I'll explain in a second. So we got a video with sentence A and then sentence B. Watch both, figure out which one is the best translation into sign of the sentence that's pictured here. I told Renee to send you the flowers, but instead she sent them to me. So watch the video, figure out if it's A or B. Then what you would do is you would circle it, right? The other way I've got it set up, A and B are separate videos, that you can play both. And I think this is going to be the better one because then you can compare them. You could have them play at the same time, whatever. I'm going to give this advice in multiple videos, but in case it doesn't sink in, voicing the English to the videos can help for some people. Helping you watch their facial expressions to see how the information, how their message is changing, what they're setting up as an idea, when they ask questions, when they negate. It will help with timing. It will help with rhythm. For some people, it may just confuse them. Try it, see what you think. It may mean speeding up some places and slowing down other places to get them to match. Shouldn't be that bad in simple sentences like this. As we get further along, it may be more difficult. Translating a Shakespeare speech from watching someone sign it in ASL, there's parts where you're going to be flying along, and then other parts where you stretch things out. That's just sort of the nature. But you want to try to get certain concepts to match up because it makes sense. Anyway, so watch the 2, A and B, pick the right one. I'll circle it, and then write the English sentence for the one that was the wrong answer. Okay? So what is the translation of that one? And that's going to get all these directions, all these agreement verbs making sense. So there are 3 of those. And we've got narratives, stories. They're just short. The first one is about the dentist. Now, I'm going to recommend you sign dentist like this. There are 2 different ways, dentist, dentist. This is probably the safest for ASL2 students. Point to a tooth and say, that's the dentist or dentist. I want to be a dentist. It's just like the holiday classics, right? Hermie, right? Hermie that wants to be a dentist. So dentist, he puts that little hook in, right? And picking and finding what nerves are going to make you go, ow, mother. Okay, right. So dentist. You'll see this a lot, and it's like taking a syringe or something and right. The problem is if you sign it on the cheekbone, it's very close to the sign for rectum. Damn near killed him. No, for asshole. So I will recommend that you don't do, at least to start with, don't do this. Do dentist, and don't point. It's with an X. Dentist. I tend to set my jaw dentist rather than just dentist. Uh, Come on. Root canal. I told you I got a root canal. If anybody watched West Wing, that's CJ Craig, right? No, whatever. You're all too young. Curses. So then I put the answers down below them. So JT went to the dentist. Suzanne, I should capitalize her name. That is very disrespectful. She ordered something and it's being delivered to the house. So there's a little story behind that. Oh, there's only two narratives. Great. Okay, so then we go back to the vocab, and this is the wrong list. This is from a different chapter. So this was just the generic slide I put in. I will replace these right now. So really, that's it. As I said, this is, oh, maybe that is the right list. Okay, well, either way, you will have the correct list in the actual PowerPoint. So that's it. As I said, the first two is a 8.01 is really in depth, lots of information. It's a huge one. It takes a long time to get through that PowerPoint. Each successive one is pretty much shorter. There's a couple that expand a little bit more, but I'll fluff up this over the next couple days, and then we will be ready to move on. I'm actually going to record 8.4 right now. Beep.